Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It has been a while since I put out anything. The weekly vlogs have stopped once again because I haven't been reading them a lot. I've just been pausing stuff and restarting new books and pausing stuff, and I'm not usually the type of person who has like 6 books currently in my currently reading list, and I'm not the type to read multiple books at once. So that's like a tell that I've not been having a good reading month. Anyway, welcome. So today I'm bringing you guys my November wrap up and my December TBR combined. So let's get started. So the first book that I finished for the month of November is actually Five Dark Fates by Kendra Blake. I obviously love this book. I really enjoyed this series in its entirety. Like the third book, I didn't really find that it added quite enough to the story that it merited a whole book. I felt like the whole third book could have been either added on or split in half and added on to the last part of the second book and added on here to the fourth book. So anyway, this fourth book, the last book in this quartet, was amazing. It was very fast-paced. It's not a short book. It's about 400 pages, but normal length, and it read so much faster than I've been reading books before this. And I enjoyed it. I rated this a 4.5, I want to say 4.75 stars. A great way to end the story. It was very action-packed, things were happening right after the other, but it didn't feel like it was rushed. It felt like things were happening. I mean, this is the last book. Obviously, things are going down and things are going to happen and, reveal one after the other. There are some slow burns in between, but for the most part, this is it's the book 4. It's the last book. Things are going down. So I really enjoyed this book. I definitely will be checking out more of Kendra Blake's work. I know I've read a few of her books before. I've read her middle grade book, which I actually really enjoy. And I've read Anna Dressed in Blood before, which I loved. I really loved that book. I read the second book either earlier this year or late last year. I didn't really enjoy it that much. I didn't think it was necessary, but I really enjoyed Anna Dressed in Blood, the first book. And I've also read a few books in her Goddess War series. I think I already read the first or the second book. I haven't read anything outside of that, but I remember really enjoying that as well. And I felt like this series was just a little bit more different than her previous books that I've read. This just felt, I don't know, a little bit more high fantasy. There's so much more in this world, in the characters, just the whole book itself. So I really enjoyed this book, and definitely, again, I will be checking out more of her work. So yeah, Five Dark Fates. So the second book that I read for the month of November is Gods of Jade and Shadow by Sylvia Moreno Garcia. I got this off Book of the Month, and this is one of the things that when I went to Book of the Month and I saw the premise, I was like, I don't know. I don't think I bought this. I don't think I added it the month that it was supposed to be added. I think I added the next month after because I just wasn't sure about it. But I've heard, I think Olive from a book Olive talk about this, and she said she really enjoyed it, and so I read it. And again, I was having trouble reading quite a bit. It's not the book's fault or any of the book's fault, to be honest. It was just purely me. And it took a while for me to go through this, but I really did enjoy the story, and I enjoyed the characters, and I loved the dynamic between our god and our mortal, and how they need to stick to each other, and how our main character, what's her name? Cassiopeia, has to help this god of death get his whole body parts back, and get his reign back from his brother who stole it from him. So I really enjoyed this. Very action-packed as well, and I really enjoyed the mythology, the different kind of mythology that it gave us a glimpse of. It wasn't confusing, but it also didn't feel incomplete, or we were just going along for it didn't feel like the mythology was just used so that it could be different. Definitely I felt there's a lot more to the whole mythology that is related to this that we have not even scratched the surface of. So I'm definitely interested to read a little bit more from this author, and maybe a little bit more from this mythology world. It was very interesting and very action-packed. I think I rated this 4 stars, 4.5 stars. Yeah, 4.5, 4.75. I really enjoyed. Alright, so around at the same time, I also decided to try another audiobook, and I decided to read Part of Your World by Liz Braswell. This is part of the A Twisted Tale series. It is a series of books from Disney. They're retellings of, you know, their classic fairy tales. And this is obviously a Little Mermaid's retelling. And I actually really enjoyed this. I loved how we picked up from, it's not really a retelling in terms of they changed the ending of A Little Mermaid. In here, Ariel became the queen of Atlantica. Triton is still in the thing form with Ursula. Ursula married the prince, and she has since made a lot of different changes in the years. I think this was 5 years. Yeah, 5 years after the Little Mermaid events. In here, the basic premise is that Ursula is back to threatening Atlantica, and Ariel discovers that Triton is still alive, and she wants to bring him back and, you know, defeat Ursula once and for all. And so that's where we're starting. And I actually really loved how the relationship of Ariel and Eric was explored a little bit more, and, you know, they discussed a little bit about how it was before and how they got to know each other and how they felt for each other and just the whole thing. So I really enjoyed this book. I rated it as 4 stars. Definitely like helped me kind of calm myself in terms of reading. Like, I've just been getting a lot of pressure, mainly for myself, because I'm way behind my reading goals. Although honestly, I have already met my goals. It's just that I changed my goals like a few months ago because I was like way ahead and I fell behind. And I actually met right now my original goal for the end of the year, which is 75 bucks. And my new goal was 90, but whatever. Anyway, moving on to the next books that I am currently reading. So I'm also listening to another audiobook. I am listening to Daisy Jones and the Six. I have read the book earlier this year and I've heard a lot of amazing things about the audiobook. That's why I had it on hold in library, and then I was just on hold, you know, whenever it will be available for me to borrow. I just decided that whenever it's available, I will just listen to it because there's a lot of people waiting for that book. So when it became available, I just started to read it, and I am about, I want to say 60% of the way through. I definitely will be finishing it soon because it's an audiobook. I can listen to it while I'm walking to work, or, you know, when I'm doing something mindless. So I'm really enjoying that so far. It's a full cast of characters, and yeah, I'm really loving it so far. I mean, I really loved reading Daisy Jones and the Six this year, so not really surprising that I'm loving the audiobook because I also heard a lot of amazing things about it. And the other book that I'm reading, the physical one, is The Beautiful by Renee Ahdieh. This is from the library. I have my own copy, which I got from Book of the Month. It's in my bag, so I'm gonna take it. I haven't really read much from the book, maybe about 60, 70 pages, 80. We're just starting now, but so far I'm very intrigued with our characters, especially our main characters. Not so much the guy protagonist, because I haven't really seen much of him. Just the main character and her friends. Basically, Renee Ahdieh wrote a vampire story, but this one is set in the 1800s in New Orleans, and Celine Rousseau moves to New Orleans after she has to flee for her life as a dressmaker in Paris. So she's a dressmaker from Paris. Things happened and she has to run away and save herself from something, and so she has her own secrets, she has her own past. And in New Orleans, it is kind of ruled over by this clan of vampires, I want to say. And so there are a string of murders also happening around in New Orleans, and Celine kind of course gets into it and gets in the middle of it, and so that's where we're picking up from, I think. So yeah, I really am enjoying this so far. I'm excited to see what the vampire world here is like. Okay, so the next book that I am planning on reading this month are some very holiday themed books. I wanted to join Tisa Seasonathon, but because of how I've been reading this past few months, I just decided not to join because I knew I probably won't be able to finish a lot of the challenges or just really enjoy the readathon because I'm just not in the right mindset. Anyway, I will be reading Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist. That's one of the classic holiday themed books to read in December, and I've been wanting to read it for a while, but I haven't because I've been waiting for the right moment too. So I will be reading that. I have the audiobook on Libby actually right now. I have to renew it because it was borrowed a little bit too early, so I will renew that either tomorrow or today. Anyway, so that's the first book that I want to read. Well, that's one of the other books that I want to read for this month, finish for this month. Also, 10 Blind Dates, because like I said, I wanted to join Jesus Season-a-thon, and that's one of the bonus challenges. It's to read with everybody else at 10 Blind Dates. It's like a buddy read of the readathon. It's not necessarily just a bonus challenge. So that as well, I'm gonna be reading. I know my goal for this month is to finish The Beautiful within the first week of December, as well as Daisy Jones and the Six, which I think is very much fun. And then read Nick and Nora's 10 Blind Dates. Oh, and I also have another one. It's Pride and Prejudice and Mistletoe by Melissa de la Cruz. I don't really know anything about this, but I thought it was like Pride and Prejudice and Mistletoe, so I guess it was like Pride and Prejudice, which I enjoyed, and Mistletoe, which means that it's gonna be in the holiday season, so it's gonna be perfect for this one. Darcy Fitzwilliam is 29, beautiful, successful, and brilliant. She dates hedge funders and basketball stars and is never without her 3 cell phones, one for work, one for play, and one to throw at her assistant. Darcy's never fallen in love, never has time for anyone else's drama, and never goes home for Christmas if she can help. But when her mother falls ill, she comes home to Pemberley, Ohio to spend a season with her family. Her parents throw their annual Christmas bash, where she meets Luke Bennett, the smart, sardonic, slacker son of their neighbor. Luke is 32 years old and has never left home. He's a carpenter and makes beautiful furniture and is content with a simple life. He comes home from a family of 5 brothers, each one less ambitious than the other. When Darcy and Luke fall into bed after too many eggnogs, Darcy thinks just another one-night stand. Why can't she stop thinking of Luke? What is it about him? And can she fall in love, or will her pride and his prejudice against big city girls stand in their way? Wow, that sounds like fun. Definitely gonna be reading that. So yeah, that is it for my November wrap-up and my December TBR. Again, by the end of this year, I know I'm not gonna be able to meet my book goal. My goal is to kind of meet my 80, at least get to 80, which I might. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, again, that is it for this video. Yeah, I'm just hoping that by the end of the year I'll be like okay mentally, so that I can get back to reading. Anyway, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Go check out my other videos right here, and I will see you guys on my next video. Bye!